Hi, good evening, one and all. So, in the last session, we had discussed on first chapter, which is the introduction of accounting. Okay, so in the last session, we discussed the introduction of accounting as well as the meaning of bookkeeping, as well as the meaning of accounting, meaning of accountancy, as well as the background or the origin of the accounting, history of accounting. Okay, so like these points we covered in the last session. Okay, so you know the meaning. Okay, so in the earlier era or in the traditional era, there were not developed the accounting system, because of there were not developed the infrastructure, there were not developed the softwares or the technology, you can say the technology, they were not developed. So that's why the accounting system is also not developed. Okay, so but in this modern era, so the modern era, the accounting system is so lots of developed, because of infrastructure is developed, as well as softwares, or you can say the technology is developed. That's why the accounting system is developed. And in the business there are so many transactions are taking place. That's why the accounting system is very important to maintain the accounts. Okay, so this is about the introductions. As well as in 4th century there were ex ruler, the name is what's Kautilya, who is the minister of Chandragupta Maurya, and he wrote one book which is Arthashastra. And that Arthashastra book, he mentioned the accounting as well as the auditing system. Okay, so after that some years that polished, or again it's developed in the 15th century, and it is developed or it is polished by the Luca Pasolini. Okay, and Luca Pasolini has wrote one mathematics book, and the name of the mathematics book is what? Summa. Okay, and in that Summa book, the Luca Pasolini has mentioned, after polishing the accounting and the auditing system, so he mentioned about the book keeping in the books of Summa. Okay, so you know the meaning of bookkeeping also. Okay, so bookkeeping means what? It is one of the system to maintain the account books for the purpose of recording the day-to-day business transaction. Okay, so in the books of account is nothing but what's bookkeeping. Okay, so as well as you know the meaning of accounting, as well as you know the meaning of accountancy. Okay, so accountancy means what? It is the theory and practice of the accounting is nothing but what? Accountancy. Okay, accounting is different, accountancy is different. Okay, so accountancy means what? Whatever theory as well as whatever the practice is there of the accounting is nothing but what? Accountancy. Okay, so now in this session we will discuss the features of the accounting, or you can say the functions of accounting or the characteristics of accounting. Okay, so in the next slide, just see, in last class also we had discussed the meaning of accounting, but once again we will see that what in by accounting. Okay, so it is an art and science of recording, classifying, summarizing, measuring, identifying and communicating the result of business activities and financial concerns. Okay, so this is the meaning of accounting. Okay, so you know what, why it's called art of accounting, why we called science is accounting. Okay, so why we called the art of the accountings? Because whatever the transactions are taking place in the business, so these transactions we are recording in a systematic way, so for that purpose skill is required. Okay, so that's why accounting it is an art. Okay, and why it's called the science? Because while recording the transactions, whatever the transactions are taking place in the business, so these transactions, while recording we are following the rules and regulations, principles, as well as the conventions, concepts, basic terms we are following. So that's why the accounting it is in the science. Okay, so already I explained the recording, classifying, summarizing, measuring, identifying and communicating the result of business activities and financial concern. Okay, so whatever in this meaning, whatever 3 lines or 2 lines are there, no, so it will cover 7 marks in your exam. Okay, it will cover how many marks? 7 marks. Okay, so how it will cover 7 marks? They will ask for the 2 marks questions, what is the meaning of accounting, and for the 5 marks they will ask what are the features or what are the characteristics or what are the functions of accounting. Okay, so the for the meaning purpose you have to write this meaning: it is an art and science of recording, classifying, summarizing, measuring, identifying and communicating the result of business activities and financial concern. It will come for the 2 marks. Okay, so what about the 5 marks? They will raise question in the exam for 5 marks: what are the features or what are the characteristics or what are the functions of accounting. Okay, so at that time you have to write, so accounting, it is an recording, classifying, summarizing, measuring, identifying, communicating. Okay, so these are the what characteristics or these are the features of accounting. Okay, so in the it will come for the 5 marks. Okay, so in the next slide we will see the features or characteristics of accounting. Okay, so the first one is the what's recording. So recording means what? Just see, accounting records business transaction in terms of money. It is essential concern with ensuring that all business transactions of financial nature are properly recorded. Recording is done in journal, which is further divided into subsidiary book from the point of view of convenience. Okay, so it means what? Recording means what? Whatever the transactions are taking place in the business, so these transactions are recording in the books of accounts. Okay, and transaction means what? Which is related to the economics. So economics means what? Which is related to the finance or which is related to the money. It means transaction means what? It is exchanges the money or money's worth is nothing but what? Transaction. Okay, it is nothing but what? The transactions. Okay, and the transactions only recording in the books of accounting. It means what? Quantitative information only recorded in the books of accounts. Okay, and later on recording is done in journal, which is further divided into subsidiary books from the point of view of convenience. So it means what? So after taking place the transaction in the business, first of all they are recording in a journal book. So journal book means what? It is the original book of the accounting, and first of all they are writing in a maintaining in the journal book, and afterwards they are further subdivided into subsidiary books. So subsidiary books means what? There are different books. The purchase account books is different. Okay, sales account is different, cash transactions are different, credit transactions account book is different. Okay, so there are so many transactions are taking place, but after recording in the journal, they are next they will the further divide it into they will divide it into the different books. Okay, the purchase transactions they will record in the purchase book, sales transactions they will record in the sales book. Okay, whatever the cash transactions taking place, so these cash transactions they are recording the cash book. Okay, so like this they are further divided into subsidiary books. Okay, so this is about the recording. Next, classifying. So classifying means what? Accounting also facilitates classification of all businesses transactions recorded in journal. Items of similar nature are classified under appropriate heads. The work of classification is done in a book called the ledger. Okay, so whatever I explained earlier, this is the classifying means what? After recording the transaction in the books of accounts, later on they will classify. It means what's the separate they will prepare the personal accounts, like the personal accounts. Okay, they will prepare the personal account, or you can say whatever the purchase transactions are recorded in the purchase books, whatever the sales transactions they are recorded in the sales books, whatever the cash transactions they are recording in the cash book. Okay, like this they will the classify. Okay, so this is about the classifying. The next slide, summarizing. So now see what am I summarizing. Accounting summarizes the classified information. It is done in manner which is useful to the internal and external users. Internal users interested in this information are the persons who manage the business. External users of information are the investors, creditors, tax authorities, labor unions, traders, associations, shareholders, etc. Okay, so this is about the summarizing. Summarizing means what's in a short, they are the presenting the accounting data in front of the users. Okay, in front of the users, whatever they are prepared, whatever they prepared the accounts, whatever they maintained accounts, at the end of the year they are going to present the data of the accounting in front of the users. Okay, and keep in mind there are two types of the users, which are those internal users and the external users. Okay, internal users and the external users. And what do you mean by internal users? Internal users means what? Those who are within the company, those who are related to the business. Okay, those who are within the business, these are the internal users. For example, the board of directors or the owners or the financial manager. Okay, some managers. Okay, those are the what's the internal users. They want to know, they want to know for the decision making purpose accounting data. Okay, so as well as the external users, you know which are those external users means what? Outside of the business, outsider of the business. And which are those outsider of the business? External users, for example, the investors are the external users, creditors also external users, tax authorities external users, labor unions, traders, as well as the associations, shareholders, etc. Okay, so these persons also needed the what? Accounting data. Okay, so this is summarizing means what? It is the presenting the accounting information in front of the users. Okay, so users, there are two types of the users, internal users and the external users. Okay, so in the next, interpreting. Interpreting, it means what? It implies analyzing and interpreting the financial data embodies in final accounts. Interpretation of the data helps the management, outsiders and shareholders in decision making. Okay, so interpreting means what? After analyzing or after analyzing, they are going to interpreting means what? They are writing in a summary, just like the summary or the conclusion. The business is getting profit or business is getting loss. Okay, so they will what? Interpret. Okay, so it will help for the management purpose or the outside purpose. So management purpose means what? For the internal users purpose, and outsider purpose means what? Is the external users purpose. Okay, for the decision making purpose. Okay, so this is nothing but what? The interpreting. Okay, so in the next slide, identifying. So identifying means what? It is an essential aspects of accounting. Identifying means determining the business transactions to be recorded in the books of account. Okay, so it means what? They are going to determine the transactions is business transactions are recorded or not in the books of accounts. Which transactions we have to record? It should be related to only the money. Okay, so our money is worth. Okay, so these transactions are only recorded in the books of account. Okay, so this is about the identifying. Next one is what's communicating. Communicating means what? Accounting ends with communicating, means informing the findings of analysis of financial statement to the end users for decision making. Okay, so in the last lecture also I had told you what is the business languages, which is the business language. Okay, so accounting is an business language. We can communicate with the business through the accounting. Okay, so at the end of the years we will know our the business is getting profit or the loss, how it's surviving in the market. Okay, so like this we will communicate by the accounting. After maintaining full years accounts, no, full years transactions, we will know at the end of the year, at the end of the financial year. Okay, so our business is getting or loss or profit. Okay, so it means what? We can communicate. Okay, we can communicate with the business. So this is about the communicating. Okay, so these features will come for the 5 marks. Okay, so I hope all of you understand. If it is you not understand, you can contact me from by the call or by the message. Okay, thank you.